Let's see. I wanted to find a kind of semi awkward way to do this. Like I did. I don't like that it's like that. It doesn't look as good as it did on saw I saw this dude using this like tagline on this podcast the other day. It was pretty lit. So let me just change that up a little bit, look a little better, make my dyslexia seem a little better. Hey Nisi, how you doing? How you doing? What's going on? Jess, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Maya down in North Kakalaka. But something that I kind of wanted to like, because I don't like to do everything the same and me too rehearse and everything like that. But something I kind of wanted to like bring, I guess, like to the forefront, something for people to kind of chew on and everything like that. When we're talking about the subject matter, it's pretty pressing. It was one of those questions I completely bypassed and avoided, and everything like that. It was asked a couple of times, whether it was through Discord, whether it was through TikTok, whether it was through YouTube, Facebook, all that. You know what I'm saying? And I took some time to kind of pray on it. Today, I'm also celebrating 3,400 days of sobriety, free from alcoholism, and everything like that. Praise God. You know what I'm saying? All of him, none of me. Yahshua the King has blessed my life and has performed a scientific procedure on my mind, has rectified, reconciled, and remedied the very things that I was up against that made me like step into this I would say step towards a coping mechanism, but he became more attractive to me. He became more of something that was possible. He became something that was more logical and, you know, better for my development as I build and grow as a person. So I feel like it's weird. I feel like, and I don't know what it is, and maybe because Maya's been following me since season 2 has started. It feels like, and Queen Maya can attest to this. It feels like in the last month, maybe in a month and a half, I've started to get a lot more personal on these podcasts. I've made it in a weird way more about me, even though it is the Kid Casper podcast. I feel like at one point it was the podcast in which Kid Casper was on, but it wasn't really Kid Casper sharing his thoughts and everything like that. So, you know, I would say over the last month and a half, there's been a shift. A lot of that might be the season I've been in, the things in which I've been going through, enduring, things I've seen, things that have personally impacted me and everything like that. And that has been, I can't even say it's been good. I don't know, because I feel exhausted when I get off of here and everything like that. I can't really speak for anybody else, but I do know that this is just where I'm at right now as far as like having these conversations, talking about things that God is showing me, trying to pontificate it to a way that not only my brothers and sisters, my siblings that are disciples of Christ, or those that are, you know, searching for something, whatever that is. So this episode is titled, and I quote, "Why I Don't Want My Flowers." And I'm going to drop the intro real quick. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, I'm jealous. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, I'm jealous. Welcome everybody to the Kid Casper Podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved, and black host, the kid they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for that king of development. I'm that menace with the melanin. Reject me as I am, as long as he's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? If this is your first time tuning in today, hello, I'm the kid that they call Casper. I'm a rapper / activist. I said that completely wrong. I'm a raptivist, a Christian raptivist. Something about I love Jesus and I'm far from a pacifist. Hey, you see how I just, you know, kind of fumbled that mug into the end zone at the end of the day? Anyway, you know, content creator, graphic designer, I've been doing this thing where I've started to acknowledge myself, entitle myself in my role in other people's lives. So I'm a brother. I am an uncle, you know what I'm saying? I am a mentor. I am, you know what I'm saying? I'm a lover and a doer. And when I say I am a doer, because love to me is a verb. It is not just it is not just something that you get to, you know, use as far as like an adjective. Like I don't just love people, I actively love people, which is big in just everything I do. Kind of goes into my Mr. Lead with Love moniker, everything like that. It's kind of funny because even though I'll open up at these rallies and stuff, um even though I open up at these rallies and stuff like that, it's I'll tell people, oh, I go by Kid Casper, by the way. They will end up calling me Mr. Lead with Love just because I'm really trying to drill in that point. So yeah. Taco enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? Apparently I'm a nerd, in case nobody noticed by any means. And yeah, ghostthreads.com. That's how we pay the bills around here. That's how we kind of get our message out. That helps create better content, that helps kind of open doors for more things, that people that are not only that I do life with, but people that like I help grow, mentor. I don't like to say that I mentor Queen Jessica. I'm more of like I'd rather be I'd rather be the black man in the dark, a la Kim Possible and everything like that. But like, you know, kind of showing her what I'm doing behind the scenes, showing her what it means to do content creator. You know, I take pride in that. I take pride in the fact that I'm able to help people by kind of helping them not step in the same things I stepped in, especially when it comes to using some of these like OBS softwares and everything. So it kind of works out. But yeah, you know, that's about it. There's something else I was supposed to bring up. Oh, so I'm opening this episode up to, I wouldn't say the general public, because some of y'all are weird. I just saw some of y'all are weird, and by weird I mean very inappropriate. And by very inappropriate, it's just that some of the stuff y'all share on social media, I really don't want you to share that on my platform. I'm just gonna say it just like that. I saw a TikTok video go down my FYP that I sent to my big sister. I was like, I'm not a piece of meat. But okay, she went off. It was hilarious. But this is open to the Patreon community. You could easily go up into Patreon, click the link. If you're not signed up for the Patreon, the link is pinged up in the bio on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? $2 is $2 a month. You could easily use it just for this episode if you wanted to. If you're not already signed up, $2 to give you 2 cents, kind of share your thoughts. But on this episode specifically, and though this is going to make me very uncomfortable, but once again, I prayed about it. I'm inviting people on here to pretty much, because I need as much as I realize I need a lot more of this than I could really get right now. And that's encouragement. If you want to just though the episode is titled I Don't Want My Flowers, I am giving 24 hours of my time, which is also this, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be me regardless if this camera's rolling or whatnot. So feel free to hop in the link in the bio, or in the talk about for those on Facebook, link in the bio for the for our Twitch fans and everything like that. And for the YouTube, if y'all want to hop in here, kind of just love on me and stuff like that, that's completely up to you. That's probably the first and last time I'm gonna do that, just because y'all know me. I don't really likes it. I don't really likes it at all. But what she said, you better watch out. Hey man, that's completely up to, I opened the door. I'm not gonna be mad if you hop in this mug, and I told you to hop in this mug. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go to the Patreon. It should be pinned up. Hopefully it should be pinned up, but I did drop the links in all the descriptions tonight. So yeah, let's get into it. So the reason that I'm here today is not only because it was a question that I definitely avoided, but I realized there was no way of avoiding this question, especially as a person that is very big and very intentional on this 4-letter word that people seem to abuse a lot. You know what I'm saying? People love to say, I love you. People love to say the 3 words, 8 letters, I love you. That's just a thing that people tend to just say, especially in American culture, where love is very it's symbolic in a lot of ways. It's not really organic though. It's definitely something that in which that I think people really take advantage of. And then I don't think people really understand like what love does for somebody. Um, but it's also very weird for people that know me and they're like, God, he's so loving. Why the hell does he like hate himself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's just the way. I wouldn't say I hate myself. I don't really like myself, I would say. Just speaking out of transparency of where I am, mental health and emotional intelligence, and where I'm at, the climate in which the waters, which is my mind and my life and everything right now. I would not say I don't really like where I am. Meaning, like, when I say I don't like where I am, I'm not talking about on a physical sense. I'm talking about everything up here, because I always tell y'all, if you guys have been tracking, the heart of a man is up here, not in here. I've had a heart attack before. You know what I'm saying? I did not change because my heart was attacked. My heart has been attacked up here though, so it's been kind of I would say that it's been kind of difficult to navigate in this space, especially trying to navigate in this space, and did not expecting for God to use me the way that he did in opening the door um as he has opened the door. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought I was just gonna get up on here, um, come back for season 2, hitting the streets, just kind of doing things differently, but having more of a plan, I would say. That changed very, very quickly. When I speak about, I had an episode talking about the importance of community, especially in a pandemic. I was speaking more along the lines of like as a Christian's perspective, because Jesus had disciples. You know what I'm saying? There was very rarely where God, if God ever needed to, we're talking more about singleness, not people being lonely, but it's very rarely that God used to remove people and just say, you got to do this all by yourself. Like, he would tell people to isolate. Like the man that Jesus carried out of town so he could literally spit in his eye. Yeah, Jesus spit a loogie in this dude's eye. I'm not kidding. But when um when Elijah had to get in the cave, get quiet, that was more so he can hear from God, and everything like that. That way, it was more so a test of intimacy with him. But even in that, you might have been removed from people, but they were still with people. You know what I'm saying? So when you were removed from when this blind man was removed from his friends and family, he was still with Jesus in the physical realm. He was still with God in the flesh, in the physical realm. When it came to Elijah, he was still with God, the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So he was still with people. So we see, even in moments when it looks like no man or woman is supposed to be alone, there was some type of a being there, whether it was a physical being, a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's what I talked about months ago. Anyway, divinity is like completely blown me out of the water. It's something that I started after this episode, after this like one live stream that one of my mentors runs. Shout out to Ruslan. I know he's live right now. But that's dope. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all, because without, I don't know how to describe it. I don't mind sharing time with people. It ain't about the views, because at the end of the day, I'm here for one person. Amen. So, but it was on this one episode that he did in which there was these two brothers in Christ that were like kind of going through it emotionally and mentally and everything like that. And it kind of showed me how important people really need people during this time, during this pandemic, especially I guess for me as a Christian. Um but I didn't expect it to turn out this way. When I say like I did not expect it to turn out this way, I did not. It's everything that I ever wanted, but then it's like, what the F? You know what I'm saying? It's everything I've ever wanted, but still it's like, what the F? When I tell people that, they look at me crazy, because I tell them I have a family, And they're like, oh, you should invite us over one day so we can meet them. And when I tell them that, oh, I could just send you a Zoom link, they're like, you don't want me to meet your family? I'm like, I'm trying to have you meet my family. That's weird. It's weird when you have lived this life physically. So maybe it's just my first world. It's my first world issues. Now, I don't want to say issues because people have it much, much worse in this life. I guess that's just my tick. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it's a tick. And it's just really, really funny how, though this is something that I asked for, I don't like having it, even though I asked for it. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really weird. And when I say it's weird, y'all know I've talked about this many a times on here. You know, me have gone through trauma, not only in the last, just the last year, essentially. But in my 27 years of life, it's very weird for me to settle. And when I say settle, I mean settle in. Even where, without giving, even where I reside right now, I never necessarily unpacked when I got here. Me and my sister, shout out to Wayward Jessica. We were just talking about this the other night. I don't really, though. It's kind of like you like having shelter, but you like having a house, but you don't like making it home yet. That's me, if that makes sense. Why is that? You know what I mean? You like having people in your life, but obviously there's a difference between having people in your life and then having people present. You know what I'm saying? Because my dog's in my room. Well, he wasn't here. God. Oh, the what on earth did the rapture happen? And this man was just sitting in the chair over here. I promise. Anyway, but me and my dog have been roommates since I was 15. But Dash does not speak into my life. He's in the room with me. I'm around him all the time, but he doesn't speak into my life. Why? Because he's a dog. And if he started talking to me, then I need to stop. I don't know what's in this. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed that for me, I know I don't want to be alone, but sometimes there's a difference between wanting alone time and wanting to be alone. Then there's well, no, there's a difference between being lonely and then wanting alone time. And then there's this kind of overwhelming feeling in which I'm talking about. She ain't been on this joint in a minute. Hold on, let me see if I can, because I don't think she's gonna show up on camera. You gonna show up on camera for me, sis? If not, I'll make you an avatar. That's no issue. I'll make you an audio avatar if that's the case. Can you hear me, Auntie Maya? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Not yet. Oh, you getting set up, man? She might show up on.
Hello, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me's? Come on, Maya. This is kind of. And now she's gone. That was weird. All right, Maya ain't been on my podcast in months, and then she just dips out like that. That's ignorant. Okay, that ain't right. That ain't right. But one of the things when I'm talking about, yeah, I don't know where she went, dog. She might be back. I mean, she's probably trying to get herself situated. She's got close to the same setup I have, so she might be back. I would assume so. Okay, cool. I bet. All right, no problem. My cousin just texted me. He said you're doing fine. I see you're shaking. You're doing just great. I read that out loud because I want y'all. I'm acknowledging that there were flowers given to me, and I am taking my flowers. My cousin just texted me and said you're doing just fine. Keep doing it. You're doing great. Just pace yourself. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let me get that pinged up. And there we go. She might be. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Oh man, so why are you not on camera? Because you don't come around often, yo. You don't really come by you don't come by you don't come around the block that much anymore. You don't come and say hi to it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like
You know what I'm
you just over
saying?
there beat.
I just
Hmm?
wanted to pop in for a few seconds, a few minutes, and tell you something, okay?
Oh gosh, I'm
Yeah,
scared.
you think I'm not gonna take advantage of the 24 hours? Oh, you thought wrong. You thought wrong, son. You thought wrong. So I just wanted to tell you that I know, like you said, these past couple months, especially since that particular episode, you've really kind of stepped out on faith and being vulnerable about the things that you've been through, what you're going through. And I just want to
Hmm.
encourage you and say that a lot of the growth that happens in terms of being a mature Christian, a lot of it's uncomfortable. And we get duped into believing that it's got to be all flowers and roses. And once we get over the hill, we'll be fine. Well, sometimes, a lot of the times, if you look at the Bible, it
Hmm.
has phrases in the New Testament for a reason that go like something like this: after you suffered for a little while. Well, a little while is totally different in terms of God's timing compared to what is American Christianity's or westernized Christianity's interpretation of time in general. So
Hmm.
I know it's been one heck of a ride for you, but I am proud of you. Um, just to see where God is taking you in terms of you learning to steward your temple. And by your temple, I mean your spirit, your mind, your body, your soul, and stewarding your relationships. And I know that a lot of the times it means a lot of people are going to be caught off guard by that because a lot of people have not learned how to do that themselves. So it can come across as, oh, you're being aggressive or you don't love me. Well, sometimes loving others means we have to first really go on the journey of loving who God has called us to be. If we can't fully do that, it's going to be really hard to fully love others to the fullest capacity that we've been created to do so. So I'm proud of you. I just want to say, keep going. And the interesting thing about accepting flowers is that as Christians, we have the opportunity to take the flowers we receive and point people in the direction of the one who made even receiving those flowers possible. So
Hmm.
um, I know it may feel like, oh man, they putting the spotlight on me, but really think about it like this: they recognize the Jesus in you. They recognize God in you working in your life and moving in the content you create, in the words that you speak, in the way that you steward the things he's giving you. So as God sends you flowers, receive them with that in mind, because it is all of him and none of you.
This is true. This is true. Anything else while I'm trying not to like cry and ruin my makeup and get lotion in my eyes because I put lotion on my eyelids because we don't age in dog years. We gotta make sure that stays that way. You know what I'm saying? Anything
I'm,
else, Auntie Maya?
I'm gonna say one thing: take care of my baby Dash. Okay, take care of him.
I don't
That's
know
all
where
I'm
he
gonna
went.
say.
He was in the guest chair for a second and then he dipped out. He just out up and left me. He's like, you know what? This nigga about to get emotional. I don't want to see him like this. It just dipped out. He just left me. My road dog hit the road. You know what I'm saying? Trifling. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I got one more thing. One more thing.
Yeah, yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie.
Just know it ain't over until God says it's over. It ain't over until God says it's done. No, 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 no. It ain't over until God says it's over. Keep fighting until your victory is won. And on that note, peace.
Appreciate that. You just doing drive-bys. You just gonna come up in here and do drive-by praise breaks. Terrible. Um, but yeah, man. I forgot what I was saying before. Appreciate you, Auntie Maya. That was I'm trying. Not trying not to ruin my makes-ups. You know what I'm saying? I heard a new word today when it comes to like your face. Dewy. Dewy was the word that they used. Well, Key used. She said the term she used was dewy. I'm like, what the nigga? What is dewy? Like, ain't that grass, nigga? Anyway, um, but um, but yeah, it's it's interesting, to say the least. It's an interesting place to be, as I've been kind of like stepping in this direction. Especially when talking about how like I've like started, yes, Dewey, like off of Snow White. Is that what his name is? I think so, right? No, Dewey's one of Donald Duck's nephews. Yeah, Dopey was that? I don't know. I ain't watched that movie in a grip, son. Well, I was watching it like a couple months ago, like a month or so ago at my mom's. That's besides the point. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think. See, the thing is like God will put like a message on my heart, but he will not but he because he like deposits it me, and that's Dewey. Yes, Dewey. That's Dewey. What's the Dewey is the nephew of Donald Duck, right? Dewy is a makeup term that describes moisture skin. And okay, you know what? My foundation is in Christ, not makeup. What you want from me? I'm tired of y'all messing with me. This is why I need to. This is why I need a producer to do all the this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't got to do it. I don't got to engage y'all and play with y'all comment section because y'all be trying me. I'm saying. Um, but yeah, yo. Um, so I guess the best way, um, Dewey is a duck. Dewey is your skin. Nigga, leave me alone. My gosh. Um, I can't stand them. Sweet baby Jesus. Um, but I think when I'm just talking about this is like a step process, and I'll kind of because I like to incorporate Jesus and therapy, emotional intelligence. Um, so I'm just gonna, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, and this will be fun editing and everything like that. Um, this will be fun editing and everything like that because, like I said, I try not to do anything too thought out and too rehearsed because then it seems forced. Even though right now I'm really trying not to. I'm really trying not to come off as neurotic, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Um, so when we're talking about allowing somebody to give you flowers, and for those that are just, how do I say this politely? If you not like hip, and I don't know how I'm hip because I don't have any hips. I wear a 28. I have a 28 a 28-inch waist. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got a lot of hip. 28 34s is my pant size. But if you don't know, if you're not hip to the term, give somebody flowers, I guess I can mm, I guess I could bring in the Urban Dictionary definition because some people just don't get it. So let me see if I can just pull this up real quick. Is it okay? Hopefully it's not. Oh God. Oh my God. Ew. Never mind. Don't go on Urban Dictionary. The first definition is scary as hell. But when you're talking about the terminology or the phrase giving somebody your flowers, it basically means letting somebody love you. Let somebody give you a compliment. Let somebody encourage you, edify you, all these things. And I feel like there's a certain amount of steps. I feel like at least this is a thing I have to do. In the sense I have to, as I'm biting my sister. Follow my sister Maya. That is Maya on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Something that we always talk about is you need to have some type of relational equity to like speak into people's lives, to like, edify and encourage people in their lives and everything like that. And I think when we're talking about that, is like we're talking about intimacy. So if we're talking about how like flowers work and everything like that, you would need to know the soil, the soil, the case. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you need to know before you just get flowers. You need to know not only what kind of flowers they like when we're talking about like love language and stuff. And then we'll talk about that in a future episode, but you need to know what kind of flowers you give to people. Maya said it also means showing appreciation while someone is alive and not waiting until they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Kanye used to say, I'm trying to remember what it was old Kanye, before MAGA, before the Kardashians. Oh my gosh. But Kanye said, and I quote, when we're talking about flowers, where'd it go? And it seems like so long ago but yeah, people, if you admire somebody, you should go ahead and tell them. People never get the flowers while they could still smell them. You know what I'm saying? That is, before the sunken place. That was the polite way to put it. Before he fell in, I'm gonna move away. I'm gonna move along because I might need a beat or a feature from Ye in the future. I don't know. That's besides the point. But you need to know who you're giving these flowers to or what you are putting these flowers into. So one of the things I have for notes go. Cannot talk. I cannot pontificate my point today. One of the things I have down is let them see you at your worst. So when you typically plant, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing work in a garden or everything like that, you need to know what you're working with. When you're giving people flowers, you need to know who you're giving these flowers to. You know what I'm saying? You need to know the soil, how rough it is, how much work needs to be done, how much like uprooting needs to happen, because you can't just go and give flowers to everybody. You can't just walk up to somebody. What is this? Something I'm always saying, like, I didn't consent to that. I jokingly say, no, I don't jokingly say, I'm dead serious. I'm not, sometimes I'm not ready. Like, I know I'm not, like, I always say I don't want them, and I'm good. That ain't for me. All of them, none of me. I don't want none of that. That has a lot to do with, there's some things that I need them to realize before they give me these flowers. There's some things that they need to see. There's some things that they need to kind of like work on before I can accept, and before they can just give them to me. For sure. Once again, if anybody would like to join this conversation, sign up for the Patreon. You could do that in the link in the bio. Link in the bio for Facebook, and Twitch, and link is in the chat. It's pinged up. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This might be beneficial. This should be beneficial for people when we're talking about on this journey of self-love, loving yourself, and allowing people, kind of like, I guess, in a lot of ways, equipping you in ways that you can allow other people to love you, and equipping people that are trying to love you but don't know how to love you properly. So we're going to continue with this. But when we're talking about giving somebody their flowers, you need to know in which the soil that you're working with. You need to know if you're going to pot it. Are you going to put it in a garden? Are you going to put it in a vase? Are you going to just put it in a cup? You know what I'm saying? There's a certain way you have to give it to people in a certain way. Say you got the right flower. You can't just go and just, you know what I'm saying? You don't know if that person's like you might end up jacking up the flower. Your intention was to give somebody flowers, but then you end up giving them dirt. because so. And this isn't me trying to dog anybody that's come into my life recently. It's like, you're terrible at loving me, because I feel like, and I said it to somebody the other night, I'm still learning how to educate myself what it means to love me properly. And so I'm teaching other people that I do life with slowly at the same time. So I'm trying to be patient with me. Please be patient with me, and I'll be patient with you as we all grow together and trying to know better so we can grow better. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that involves you knowing where you're putting these flowers. And when I say you got to know where you're putting these flowers, you got to know the soil that you're working with. You got to know the heart. You got to know the heart in which you're working with. For biblical context, when we're talking about intimacy, it's one thing to just talk to people, but it's another thing to talk to people in which you have established a sense of intimacy with. Paul, when he was on his crusades and everything like that, to preach the gospel, everything like that, he didn't just do drive-by Christianity. Yeah, I pulled the blicky out for this. He didn't just do drive-by Christianity and tell you, we're trying to save you, we're trying, because that's how we got industrialism, and that's how America got started. Last palm tree I'm throwing at 9:14. But you have to establish some type of intimacy. So what did Paul do? What did the 12 do? They decided to set up camp. They decided to set up churches. They decided to set up home. They decided to preach from these towns instead of to these towns. It's really hard to tell people. It's really hard to tell people that, how do I say this? It's really hard to tell people, what did Maya say? Self-advocacy, knowing what your needs are, how to help people, help you, and utilize resources to help you accommodate yourself and others. And that was one thing I was telling, now airing out business. I had a conversation with one of my new people I do life with, essentially. Somebody I love ever so dearly. I explained to them, talking about me specifically, I have bipolar disorder. I'm different almost every day. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You know what I'm saying? How I respond to some of these things that happen, because in case y'all haven't known, yeah, I hit 3,400 days of sobriety today, but those last 100 days have been hell. So it's like Dante's trials have been leading up to these 3,400 days. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to respond to this, because I've always think that there's a better way to do anything ever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to keep people apprised about how I'm doing it. So when it comes to with Paul, Paul thought to himself, if I'm going to do life with these people in the book of Acts, when they were saying, because that, I don't think that really people really touch on that. When he realized that if he was going to do life with these people, he had to move in with these people, not really like moving up in their house. Because I guarantee you, I don't know about y'all, I ain't gonna just let somebody move up in my house. But I'd be more interested in hearing about how to do anything in my life if they're willing to invest in it. I'd be more willing to, it'd be easier for me to take these flowers if you knew not only one, what kind of flowers I needed, but two, if you knew what the soil of my heart looked like. How soft is it? How hard is it? You know what I'm saying? How damaged is it? How much roots, garbage, decay, all these things, how bad it is. Are you going to be prepared for my good, my bad? Am I ugly? Am I indifferent? You know what I'm saying? And that goes for anybody. So before you give flowers to somebody, remember that they have to go somewhere. Before you give a compliment to somebody, stop thinking that the the flowers you're gonna give somebody is gonna all of a sudden sprout a garden. You know what I'm saying? Like, there, you don't know what that heart has been through. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? And this is, and I hope everybody hears me, because I've been saying this a lot, especially to like my community group, both of them, my sister chat, my Patreon, divinity, and everything like that. This is none of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are good. I love y'all the dopest. You know what I'm saying? I love you all differently. And I think when we're talking about this, just for myself, this is just a better way for me to kind of explain it without taking too much of your time, but making this more edifying and educational. Amen. So another thing in which, when I'm talking about when we're talking about flowers, is, let me see if I could find it. When we're talking about like treating the soil and everything like that, treating the soil of your heart, and that is accept their help when needed. There's a shallow sense of like drive-by intimacy. You know what I'm saying? No, y'all are fine. No, I hope you guys hear me. You guys are fine. You guys are absolutely, absolutely fine. This is me speaking more of a, sometimes people, and when I say sometimes, and when I mean people, because we're talking about society in a whole, some people think that just because you gave somebody a compliment that you're all of a sudden gonna like change the whole day. My ladies, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be getting compliments from these thirsty dudes and women, because there's, thirst is tailor fitted for everybody. But you get a compliment from a thirsty person and they think, oh yeah, you were just waiting for that compliment. Like, no, you weren't waiting for that mug. It didn't change your day. It probably creeped you out. And then you walking around with your gat. You got the blicky out. You got your Smith and West. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is something that needs to be talked about more because it is important. So yeah, so when we're talking about accept their help when needed, it's, somebody has to reach a certain level of like desperation with you before they can truly love you. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to like that, let them see you at your worst. There has to be some sense, people have to see that you need them. Not so much that they there has to be something in which that it's like they got to see where they fit in too. Not saying like they can't fit in your clique, because I don't get into that stupidness. You know what I'm saying? I'll do life with anybody. But when we're talking about, they have to see some sense of desperation in your life before, in some way, shape, or form. If you're hungry, I don't know how many times, I'm just keeping, y'all know me, I keep it a Benny and a half. I'll keep it a Benny Henny with y'all. You heard me? I know there was times, especially when crazy stuff happened, like when my tires got slashed and I ended up in a ditch, and I had to get new brakes, and started hitting the fan. Around here, my finances really took a hit. Look, bro, my pride is not too hard, to an extent. My pride is not too hard when I recognize, like, hey yo, I need gas. Hey yo, kind of hungry, but business has been slow. I don't got the monies. You know what I'm saying? Um, yes. Yo said, I know, I can't stand you. Like, they add value to your life. It can be that, but sometimes it's just that there has to be, it can sometimes I feel like we monetize people when we say the word value. It's not really so much value. It's that, get back to the flowers. It's that, are you just here to drop off? Are you here to put some flowers in, or are you willing to help me soften my soil? I don't know why I did that with my fingers. I hope this wasn't making anybody uncomfortable. My bad. But there's a lot of work that goes into breaking up hard surfaces. And some people can't do that on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned on the episode I did a couple weeks ago, who's spotting you. There's certain weights that they can't lift up. Man in the mat, he still needed Jesus to encourage him. Jesus didn't touch him or heal him at all. But he was like, hey, yo, nigga, get up. You know what I'm saying? It's you could easily I like to say there has to be work. It take work It takes work to develop worth within people. It takes as going back to what Maya says, it takes it takes relationship to establish equity with somebody. And more people are more than likely willing to do so if there's some sense of relationship. So letting them see you at your worst and then accept their needs when you need that help. So your worst can be in your moments of desperation, of lostness and brokenness, and then accepting their help when they need it. So what do you do next? So we're talking about this is hard for me. Good God. This is hard for me, like really, really hard for me. And I'm oddly not trying to get emotional right now, even as I'm bringing this up, but that's besides the point. Accepting their compliments. So for me, as a disciple of Christ, I always say, if you've heard me, if you know me and you've talked to me, you know I've said this at least once or twice. All of him, none of me. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I'm good. I'd rather not take that. I'm all right. There's a reason why it's hard for me to accept flowers, and you got to think like what you just adding plants to dirt does. That plant creates seeds. That seeds create fruitfulness. So fruitfulness provides more growth, a flourishment in the harvest, reaping the benefits of a harvest. For those that we're talking about agriculture and the green thumb and everything like that, we are saying, I can't say nothing over here. I'd be over here saying, glory be to God. Yeah, God be the glory. Yeah. I just got a different verse than you. It's all right. But for me, more specifically, sometimes it's hard for me to accept flowers because flowers for the longest time didn't really come around much. You know what I'm saying? Try not to get emotional, but this is my it's my party. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get emotional if I want to. But when we're talking about, for me, you name it. I'm really uncomfortable with people telling me about my looks. I'm super, super uncomfortable. For two reasons. One, people telling me that I'm in prime mode right now. This is like I might get better with age. I don't know. This is probably the best I've looked all my life personally. Or maybe this is just the best I felt about myself all my life. So when people tell me, "Oh, you look beautiful," or "You look handsome," and stuff like that, you gotta understand. For me, I felt so ugly for so long, and there isn't a lot of flowers in this garden. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of there's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of rotting. There's a lot of decaying in this garden. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of flowers that were planted here. Now, I can't even say a lot. There was some things that were planted in my garden that I thought would be flourishing and fruitful, but in actuality, it was damaging, it was poisonous, it was toxic, and it ended up messing my soil up. My soil being my heart. My soil being my heart. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've had people give me their flowers, give me my flowers, you know what I'm saying? And then while they give me my flowers, putting a knife in my back. And for me, I'm like, bro, so it's either the flowers are gonna kill me because I need to check them out. I almost need to examine. I need to examine the flowers before you give them to me, before I decide to before I decide to put it in my soil, because I don't know what's going to flourish from that. I need to do that. And sometimes I get a little too overly sensitive, because I think every time somebody brings anything remotely close to that, it's a weed. My automatic defense mechanism. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. My automatic defense mechanism is a weed. I know I'm gonna give flowers. That's cool. I'm fine with that. But I think every time somebody trying to give me something that's a weed, what ends up happening. So when we're talking about people, allowing people to love you, allow people to give you flowers, what ends up happening is there is nothing that goes in your soil. So your soil doesn't get nurtured, your soil doesn't get loved on, your soil doesn't get nutrients, your soil doesn't get, when I say, like, people, this is a scientific fact that people need dopamine levels. People need to increase the dopamine levels, because it bleeds into everything. It's important. So what ends up happening is, and when we're talking about on a biblical sense, if we're talking about people that refuse to take compliments, love, blessings, all these things, if you'll deny it from man, for the other disciples of Christ, because I'm trying to, look here, y'all. Look, if pride was a crime, that was my first misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? That I'll tell you, like, this is a defense mechanism, but it's a defense mechanism that is rooted in sadness, depression, trauma, and the tree looks like pride. So I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, this isn't, I don't want anybody to think that this is cute. I don't want anybody to think this is macho. This ain't macho. This is sadness. I want you to understand what I'm saying to you right now. But when we're talking about when you deny blessing from all these people, why would you deny something from people on a horizontal sense that was probably dropped in their mind from somebody on a vertical sense? You know what I'm saying? Um, like, I tell people, if you deny blessing from man, you'll deny a blessing from God. And for me, for so long, especially before I got saved, and then even, I told y'all with my church hurt and everything like that, it is really hard for me to trust people, because I've had people that once blessed me and then later spoke death on my name. You know what I'm saying? That's hard for me. That's really, really hard for me. Um, and it's difficult, but that doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to stop. I talked about a couple weeks ago when I did the who's spotting you. You can't just stop working. You can't just not work out. I worked out today. You know what I'm saying? I went to the gym today. I cut my phone off and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I went to the gym today. There was a lot of people in the gym. People were making out in the gym. That's super gross. I hope y'all were vaccinated. Ew. But you gotta get back in the gym. You can't, don't close your heart off. Don't shut the garden down. You know what I'm saying? If you don't plant nothing, nothing grows. I mean that, like, for real. Like, if you don't allow other people to love you, and say if you're just learning, you're like I said, I'm teaching myself how to love. I'm learning how to love myself, but sometimes who sometimes the way that you can learn how to love yourself is allowing other people to love you, because they might have a lens on you that you don't have on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. That's important when we're talking about growth. That's important because that's important when we're talking about growth, because you can only go off of what you know. So sometimes you have to go through a different curriculum to unlearn the other ones. I've been talking about deconstruction. I have to unlearn a lot of churchy things to know what Christ like is. You gotta go back to school. You gotta exchange those flowers. You can't just keep them there. Like, yeah, you can rip them out, absolutely, but what are we gonna do with the dirt afterwards? That's still good dirt. My heart's still beating. You know what I'm saying? That's the heart of a man right here, heart of a woman, heart of a human being is right here. This is still functional. You gotta feed this. You still gotta have dopamine levels. You still gotta have these things that go into there. I'm only saying this because I already applied this logic with my Who's Spotting You episode. I'm just explaining to you why I haven't and why it's hard and it's difficult. And a lot of that is because there's been so many times when people have given me flowers and they end up being weeds, but they looked really, really pretty. They smelled really, really nice, and they weren't. This one's hard. With it, I'm gonna break this down for you. This one's hard, and this is me just speaking out of myself. This is not me telling you what to do. This is me speaking out of my own. Where's it at? Sharing secrets. I'm a fairly transparent person. I'm a fairly transparent, open person. But there are some sides of me that I won't allow people to see. When we're talking about giving people their flowers, and I keep going back. I'm happy that God has given me direction when we're talking about how I was going to do this and everything like that. Sometimes I don't want to explain to people why my garden looks the way it looks. Sometimes I just want you to sometimes like I'll just want you to come by and just help me fix it. I don't want you to ask me how it got like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my boy just showed up. Hold on real quick. Let me get him up in here. What's going on, dog? How you doing today, King? You were working. You're trying to get it. Okay, there you go. How you doing today, dog?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in here. I'm trying to pop this episode out. We're doing why I don't want my flowers, and we're kind of explaining like we're kind of explaining the importance of, how do I describe it? We're going through like the steps, or better yet, I'm going through my steps. So I'm trying to explain to people why the way I am, if that makes sense. So the steps we went through already, Ty, are letting them see you at your worst, accept help when needed, accept their compliments, and sharing your secrets. And I don't know if you can even attest this to yourself, but one of the things that I was telling them is it's hard for me sometimes when it comes to this. And you and my relationship was very, very different because we just kind of like kicked it off. But there's moments that even when I guess like I might need my flowers, I don't want you to ask how my garden got this way. Does that make sense? Like you're helping me with my garden. Don't ask me how it got like this. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think for me it's irrelevant. I guess for me, and that a lot of that could be a pride thing. But then I realize, I don't think I realize it, and I'm like slowly teaching myself that helping people, teaching other people what happened in your garden in a sense, or what happened in your heart, what happened in the heart of your man, or your spirit man, or your, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this, because I tell you the heart of a man is up here, or a woman is up here. And when we're talking about explaining to people what happened to the soil may help them be able to garden with you in this life a lot better. And then, so basically teaching other people your love language. And when you're doing that, because, and I say it all the time, you know me to say this all the time. If we don't know how we hurt one another, how are we going to know how we love one another? You know what I'm saying? If I don't know, that's a sinkhole or something. If I don't know that part is rotten, if I don't know not to even touch these areas over here, how am I going to not only give you these flowers, but how am I gonna know what kind of flowers you need? Meaning like the love language in which I could use. You know what I'm saying? Because giving somebody flowers is one thing. How they give them to you is so completely different too. I don't know if you can resonate with that or if you can relate to that by any means.
Yeah. Hmm.
Also, I'll say this because somebody my SMM just texted me. Don't forget to tell Ty that you have a 24-hour notice of accepting your flowers. So I'm supposed to no, for me, I'm supposed to allow you to say sweet to me and stuff. And I'm trying not to cry, lose my composure. They literally just texted me, said, "You think you slick? You had him on there for 5 minutes and talked his ear off. You better tell it." I'm like, man, leave me alone. So put your thoughts, I guess, of where we are so far.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of just been listening. Barely jumped on here, but I've been listening to what you've been saying, and I get it. I get it, and I think what's good about what you're doing here is you're letting other people know that they're not alone. Like people that may feel like you, like, man, I've had people in my life who told me this, and that, but when it came down to them actually proving to me that they really love me or what they're saying was true, they completely abandoned me or turned their back on me. I think a lot of people have been through that. And I think what's good is when they hear someone like you that says, "Hey, I'm going through this and everything," it helps them know, like, okay, I'm not alone. Or, okay, I'm not, I know we don't like this word, but crazy, right? People throw that word out. I'm not crazy, right? And I think it's true. Like people need to know that what they're feeling is valid and what they're feeling is real, and that other people are with them in that journey. So they can follow like you, who is like, man, I don't want my flowers because I've had people give me flowers and then they've totally took them away from me or show me that the flowers weren't even real flowers. They were like grocery store flowers, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they're giving you flowers that were artificial, that weren't real.
And I
And
think
yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead and finish your point.
no, I was gonna say that just because someone gives you flowers doesn't mean that they're doing it for the right reason, right? They may be doing it because they want to look like a good person, or they want validation, or they want others to say, "Oh, look at them," they're but it's like, if you're giving someone something and you're helping them out, you should do that with no agenda. You should do that with nothing you want in return, right? Because if you're doing it for a reason for yourself and not for the other person, then it's not real. It's not genuine. So that's the thing, is you have to be very careful with that kind of stuff.
And not even that for me. I think for me, because I've been given flowers and they turned out to be weeds. Well, okay, so two things have happened. I've had people give me flowers, and this is where it gets kind of hard, like emotionally for me. So, like, I've had people give me flowers and they weren't flowers, they turned out to be weeds. Um, I didn't realize that until it started messing my soil up, meaning like messing my heart up. And then I've had people give me flowers, and the person that gave me the flowers, the nostalgia that comes with them makes me sick. You know what I'm saying? I touched on even like with my ex-girlfriend. So a little bit of story. I'll do this. I'll do this very, very quickly. So I was with somebody for 3 years. They had a child, and we end up moving in together, like doing life together. I brought them to church with me. They met my family. I met their family, everything like that. There's so much life in which I did with them. Um, a lot of the things I did with them, I could even do after they left. My ex cheated on me, essentially. I woke up one day and found out she was laid up with a dude. She was laid up in a dude drinking tequila in his bed. I'm just gonna say it like that. I can't sugarcoat it. That's just what happened. And there was so much that happened with her daughter, with like that unit and everything like that. Everything that was associated with it or reminded me of that was triggering for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking like we used to watch wrestling together. Like that was like a family thing. It was a family thing. Or better yet, I would watch wrestling. They end up sucking it up and end up getting into wrestling because of me, but that's completely besides the point. That's something that I enjoy doing. Watching, not even kidding, we were a weird family. We used to watch rap battles and stuff like that. We used to do all these things. There's all like going to these different restaurants, and then after I found out she was cheating on me, everything that came with that hurt, because it reminded me of them, and then it reminded me of them, and then it reminded me of what they or them did to me, like what they did to me, them cheating on me. Because I think of, man, this was so amazing when I was given these flowers. It was so amazing when I felt this love. It was so amazing. But then I'm remembering who gave them to me. You know what I'm saying? And I try to get people to understand, at least for me, it's okay, Maya. It's okay. It's been like 2 to almost 3 years. All good. But it was hard. It was absolutely, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been in a relationship since. I'm single and ashy for that reason. I think I need to put that on the hashtag. But I'd be lying if I said, especially as of like late, I would say, where I'm just like, God, I hate, not so much hate being single. I would just like to be in a relationship. I put it on one of my prayer cards for prayer 2021.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you think that's a big reason why you've held back from getting into another relationship?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because for me, I think to myself, and we're just being honest here, you know what I'm saying, on episode 102. I don't want to risk. So I'll keep it real with you. I'll keep it real to everybody that's watching now. So there were so many things that was associated with the things I did with my ex. Watching wrestling, going to certain restaurants, eating certain foods, eating. You know what I'm saying? Eating. I used to let my ex play with my hair. I don't even let people touch my hair, male or female. I don't care if you're plutonic or not. Like when you allow people to have certain access to you that they never had before, you tend to be like, I don't think I'll ever let anybody get that far. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, I don't want to, because when I say I got to this dark place, because that's when I started going to therapy after my ex cheated on me. I started going to therapy because there was so much life that happened with my ex, that life hurt because of my ex. You know what I'm saying? Everything was associated with it. I'm talking songs, not even like romance songs, just songs. Like I remember when I heard this song. That's how trauma works. I remember when I heard this song, or songs that made me think of them. And bro, don't even get me started on I couldn't even listen to anything that these toxic people be putting out. I'm like, y'all be talking about crying and hitting your ex up on a rainy day and getting some chili and cornbread. I can't do that. I can't do it. But I'm being serious when I say like that was triggering for me. Like life became triggering for me. The basic necessities of things that everybody else should have. Everybody should be able to let people see them at their worst. I remember when I did that, and then I was just like, I'm being vulnerable. This reminds me when I was being vulnerable with this person or this person, this person, and this person, and this person, and this person. And then it went to, you know what I'm saying? Accepting their help. I remember this one time somebody helped me. And then I'm like, oh, cool. That was so great of them to help me. And then the minute I disagree with them, they got receipts for me. You know what I'm saying? Accepting compliments. People that one day are like throwing, giving me, I say like this. There was times when people would give me flowers, but then I couldn't find the flowers because they threw so much damn dirt on my name. Like the flowers died. You know what I'm saying? They didn't grow into anything. sharing your secrets. I've opened myself to people. I've opened my garden to people. I've opened my heart to people. And that was a lot of equity and work that went into that. This one is pretty interesting because the next woman or anybody that comes into my tribe, they going through the divinity and the sister master class course. And this is our next one that I'm touching about for just from notes from me, but letting people meet the other loves of your life. Bruh, I remember, or better yet, I'll say like this. When we're talking about having doing this life together with people, I don't want really anybody separated. That's why I don't mind like having, and this isn't to say anybody in sister is trifling, but this is why there's a reason why I don't mind having you guys integrate. That's such a weird word, being black and saying let's integrate, like but I don't mind that because you guys are important to me. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how each of you feeds me and nurtures a part of my garden and my the heart in my head and my feelings and everything like that. Everybody is important to me. I want the people to know, hey, by the way, this person comes by and works on me too. This person works in my garden too. These type of people, I think, in a lot of times you need to bring everybody together. This is why establishing your tribe is important. Because not only who's going to know better how to love you than other people, because sometimes other people may know or teach you ways to love yourself, and who better to learn from than other people. We had a situation the other night, speaking just for me specifically, one of my new brothers was really going through it because I was in such a dark place. You know, I was just in a really, 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 really dark place. And somebody was able to speak to that and was like, hey, don't get freaked out in this garden over here. Look, this is just, you got to handle it like this. You got to handle the dirt a little differently over here. You got to do this over here. Don't think you did anything wrong. Don't think that even how you're reacting is too much. That happens. I had another situation yesterday where somebody thought that they messed up in my garden. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put them on blast. You know, I don't what I do off here, I'm not talking about on here unless without a clearance. But somebody thought that they were doing something wrong in my life, in my garden and everything. And I had to let them know. I was like, no, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? You're fine. You're good. But I had a couple of people that are into apologetics of Kid Casper, which is hilarious. They were able to speak to us like, look. This is just how it goes around here. There's still some things and that's not to say every way in which that even how I am Casper is the best way to be Casper, because I feel like I'm learning myself daily. But they were able to be like, look, bro, we've been there. Don't freak out. Everything's good. Everything's good. But I think that's important though, because like it's that's why like I'm really happy that I did establish this community, because everybody's learning from everybody. I mean, yes, we're all the unifying factor is me, yes, but I'm happy that there are other people that they can lean on, one, that they can all come together on the same thing. That's one. And then two, I love that. I just love seeing like how kind each other are to each other, because I also want my tribe to feel safe just in case I get more tribe members. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, and I mean, that goes for anybody. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. I don't care what part of the community you identify with. I need to make sure that when you come into my tribe, you don't make my tribe feel unsafe. And I need to make sure that my tribe does not make you feel unsafe. You know what I'm saying? I think that is important when we're talking about establishing a tribe, because it takes a village. It essentially takes a village. And especially in our community, that's something that's kind of lost. You know what I'm saying? What you got for me, dog?
My bad. So yeah, I think it's, for me and you being Christians, like the Bible clearly tells us don't abandon community. Like we need community. Um, and I think it's important to have community because, you know, um, being left on your own to your own devices can be very self-destructive. And you need people who are, when you're feeling sad, to help you crack a smile, or when you're feeling down, to help you laugh. Those things are very healthy to have. And I know for me, as someone that's dealt with, self-doubt and all that kind of stuff, and I need that in my life. I need people that are gonna make me laugh, gonna make me smile, gonna really talk to me and understand me and listen to what I'm going through. And I think that eventually people's colors really show. So being cautious or taking your time with people, I think is important as well. Like you said, not just letting everyone who comes around that gives you a compliment, not receiving that can actually be a great thing, because you never know what someone's motive is until it really goes down, and you're going to see what people's true colors are. So yeah, even me, like I don't just take flowers from everyone that comes around. Like I take flowers from you. I take flowers from Divinity, Sister Chat. I take flowers from them because we built such a great relationship, such a great bond, in such a short amount of time, that I feel safe with you guys. Like you said, you have to feel safe. So I feel safe with you guys. I feel comfortable. I feel like I can be myself and be goofy and weird and all that kind of stuff. And you guys aren't gonna like abandon me or put me down or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's good that you as a person, you are very hesitant in a sense, and you are very cautious because of what you've seen other people have done to you. I think that's not a bad thing. I think that's actually a good thing, to take your time with people. So as far as you go, bro, like I know that you appreciate when people tell you like certain things, like, oh, I like your sneakers. Oh, I like your shirt. I like your chain. I like the way your hair looks. I know you appreciate that kind of stuff, even if you might be like, here's glory alone and all of him, not me. Like
Oh, I don't
I know
really get
you
on that on
too.
shoes, because this also has nothing. When I say this, literally has nothing to do with me. Like this was
Yeah,
it before it was attached to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I just don't allow clothes to make me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
My hair can
okay.
fall out. I'm still
Yeah,
gonna look like a peanut head at the end of the day.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
But
Hmm.
I'm sure you can agree that as someone that loves shoes, that you do appreciate when someone does tell you, "Oh, you have a nice pair of shoes on," or "I like your shoes." Like,
Well,
yeah,
that to me, I'll say it like this. That to me, when we're talking about that, when people tell me I have a nice pair of shoes or hair, that's like letting me know. When we're talking about the subject of flowers, and I've been kind of using like agricultural like theology to apply to exegy.
mm,
Is That's basically you telling me that I have a nice vase, but
mm,
it's not about the vase.
mm,
It's about, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's about the flowers and the soil that the flowers are planted in, or whatever you're planting the flowers in. But I'm talking about what's important to me. And maybe that's just because because of especially how I've made my heart grow. I just don't really like, very little will I have vase talk. Like, I don't really talk shoes. I mean, you and me, even though you and me have a lot of similarities with a lot of our interests, Ty, you and me don't really talk about music that much. We don't really talk about shoes that much. We talk about the things that are happening up here in our heart and everything like
mm,
that. You and me,
yeah,
though, we have a lot of similarities to how we package
yeah,
our flowers. We rarely talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think for me, because I care more about nurturing what is going on in here than I
mm,
do what it looks like on the outside, maybe. I
right,
think that's
right,
why it never really bugged me. But
mm, mm,
when I'm talking
yeah,
about for me, um, sometimes very little things, I don't really consider it vase talk. But like when we're talking about accepting compliments, I'm heavily uncomfortable with accepting compliments because I don't even compliment myself. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm just keeping it a beanie with you. That's why I like, and this is, I will accept. Look, for 24 hours, my SMM is like got a countdown on her phone, little smart ass. Love you, Noonie. But I'm gonna try to be careful here. Like, I really do. I really, really do. This is a in real time thing for me. Like because if anybody's checked out my old content, I have a video called Box on a Barrel of Laughs, my journey of like self-hatred and stuff like that. In which like I didn't embrace my blackness until much later in my years. I'm talking like 22 or something. So I'm highly insecure. So I'm still like learning how to like love these things about myself. Especially even about like my music too. Because music is like kind of falling off for me, and I know my identity at one point was attached to it. I'm trying to love me I'm trying to love me for being the Christian and not the Christian rapper. So like sometimes when I get compliments to stuff, especially if it's like my looks, my music, my merch is fire. Y'all need to buy some. I'll take all like you that I'm
You
that
really do. You
that
really do.
that's vase talk to me. That's fine. It's shallow as hell. Yet my merch is fire. I put in work on that. You can't really, we're not gonna deviate from that. But when I'm saying like, when I tell people like when they tell me like I look handsome or I'm beautiful or something, you gotta understand how long I've felt ugly. How
Yeah.
I've felt ugly. Felt, and I mean just felt and I mean felt ugly. How much I've hated myself. That's a lot of working to do. When it goes back to like there's a lot of unlearning to do. And a lot of people may think I'm being difficult. And I'm really trying not to be, I guess. But we're talking I lived in oil for like 25 years, and then I just now started getting like dish soap, or like started getting like some type of detergent to like wash me. And it's gonna take a couple of like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some work in that garden. I go overtime up here. You know what I'm saying? I go overtime up here because I know there's a lot of like digging. There's a lot of unlearning up here. So I'm good. But that's why like when I tell people, I'm like, it kind of scares me, because going back to like when I'm talking about like people want to give me flowers and stuff, I'm like, bro, I kind of need to check if that's a weed. Please don't just put that in my garden. Please don't just like give that to me. I don't even know if that's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that flower is gonna live. I don't even know if it's gonna land anywhere. I don't know if that compliment was worth it. I don't know if that hug you just gave me was necessary. I don't know if I even appreciate that. Like, I'm keeping it real with you. Like, I tell people this all the time. Like this is real for me because, one, I don't want to waste anybody's time. That's one. Some people are out here, and I mean, like, seriously, some people are out here, are just faking it. That's why I don't like the word crazy. I don't like the word crazy because when it comes to people with, not saying everybody has bipolar disorder, because a lot of people just like to call crazy because they like to romanticize it and fetishize it. That's just not cute. But like when I'm saying like for me, it's This is in real time. This is in real time deprogramming for me. This is in real time deconstruction for me. This is in real time decolonizing for me. This is in real time. When I say like it's like uphill. It's uphill with ropes, spikes, boots. It is a fight. I don't think people even know how hard it is to get out of bed. In the morning. Ty, you and me talked about it, like with depression and everything. I don't think people even know how hard it is to like get out of bed. I mean, I can take a shower. I'll take a shower all day. I'm not like you dirty white celebrities that are just not bathing because y'all niggas is nasty. I might be crying, but trifling is trifling.
Yeah.
But you don't know how long that shower is gonna last. Because I'll be in that mug for like, I mean, I'm keeping it real with you. There's some days where I'm in a real dark place and I'll sit in there. Or after I take a shower and I'll take an Epsom salt bath, I will be in that tub for a minute. And I'm just like, I don't want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have the physical fortitude to get up right now. So it's difficult. It's just, and I think like the best way, like when I'm trying to tell people is and especially for those that are disciples of Christ and everything like that, I wish it was an overnight switch. I wish I wasn't still working on things in my garden. I wish I wasn't still working on things up here. But and this is why like these are necessary. You kind of have to, for me, I feel like I have to explain to people like, bro, if you know what happened here before you got here, you know what I'm saying? If you knew how, and I'm not going to be giving excuses because if I'm being toxic, call me the F out, flat the F. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do deflection. If you acting like a piece of you need to get flushed down the toilet. And I mean intentionally. But when I tell people like, yo, I don't even have time to plant this. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to say the least, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's true, bro. And you know what's funny, bro? Like as I'm getting to know you, I'm realizing that there are a lot of similarities with us. Even though we grew up in two different places, we have two different backgrounds. We've been through, a lot of different things in our life. It's like, for one, both of our first name is Jordan, and that's funny, right? We're both part Hispanic, part Black, so it's like, okay, I mean, we have a lot of similar tastes in like music and like food or whatever it is. Like, we have a lot of similarities, bro. And one of the things that you said that I really relate to is that you felt ugly for so long that when someone tells you you're beautiful, you have a hard time accepting that because you felt ugly for so long. And the way that I relate to you in that is, when I was younger, like in high school, right, I had a really bad acne problem. Like my face looks okay now, right? But literally my whole face was just full of just acne, right? And that made me feel ugly. It got to the point where I would get ready in the morning in the dark. Like I wouldn't turn on the light. I would get, and I wouldn't want to even look in the mirror at my face because I felt so ugly, right? Because of my image. So when my face, cleared up, and even when I did have a bad acne problem, whenever like a girl liked me or told me, "Oh, you're handsome" or "You're cute" or whatever, right? I'd be like, "What?" Like it was hard, and I've had girls in my past who were interested in me that were like really, really beautiful, and I was like, "How in the heck can she like me?" You know what I mean? So like for me, I have a hard time with that. Even to this day, accepting it. Even when you tell me, bro, like you'll say, "A beautiful black man," you're a beautiful black man, right? It's still a little hard, bro, for me. Even though I don't say anything, I kind of just accept it. Inside, I'm kind of like, ooh, You know what I mean? Because of my past and my difficulties accepting, myself and feeling ugly and all that kind of stuff. So, and I'm not telling you not to do it. You know what I mean? By all
No,
means,
I
if
get
you,
you.
yeah. I won't tell anybody not to give me flowers or whatever. If you want to give me flowers, cool. But just know in my mind, I might have a hard time accepting that flower. So by all means, if anyone wants to give me flowers, go for it. But just know there's a battle there as well, deep down. And it's so funny because the people that a lot of people would say are so beautiful and like be like, oh, this is, this person is beautiful, right? A lot of them have the worst self-esteem issues, worst insecurities. Like, and you would be like, why do they have insecurities? Why do they have self-esteem issues? And it's like, they might have gone through a stage when they were younger where they had a physical something going on that made them feel ugly. And it's like they've had it for so long that they can't look past that. They can't
Yeah,
see
it's
what other people
what
see.
that is it's kind of like there's this community garden in my city, and everybody remembers when it looks like a dump. You know what I'm saying? Everybody remembers what I mean. Even when it looks so much better now, it's immaculate, it's beautiful, but it's so hard to not look at it and be like, that mug was a dump, or man, y'all remember when all that. And a lot of that, and what ends up happening is sometimes we become too nostalgic and it ends up becoming a prison to us, because not only do people remind us, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people will remind us of all this thing used to look like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that could be, and it's almost like it could either be that, or it's because you're so physically exhausted having to get it to where it goes. Even yourself, you don't even need, like, I'm talking about for me, if we're talking about, and this is important because I feel like I do this a lot. I end up gaslighting myself.
Take your time, Black man. Take your time.
Huh? Yeah,
Take your
it's
time.
yeah, it's because like like it what ends up happening is you're scared to, and it kind of goes back to like that podcast I did months ago when we were talking about why I cut my hair. It's funny because like some of the sisters chat met my sister in my state, my best friend and everything, and she you know what I'm saying, like she's the one that cut my hair. Remember, my hair was much longer than this tie. She's the one that cut my hair, cut all the dead out of my hair, and I burned the dead hair. I burned it. I got rid of it. And sometimes like okay, I'll speak for me because I don't want to speak for anybody else. I will, because I've lived in that I can't sugarcoat this. I've lived in so much shit. You know what I'm saying? The garden has looked like shit for so long that it's hard to accept that this is mine. You know? And when you have put so much work into getting it to look like it is, like, bro, I'm 34. I'm 3,400 days sober today. You know what I'm saying? I'm 3,400 days sober. I have to be, I like, yes, I have to protect my sobriety. Yes, I have to protect my my walk. Yes, I have to fight daily, encounter to encounter, conversation to conversation, moment to moment, anything. You know what I'm saying? But I can't be so worried that, I'll say it like this. I cannot gaslight to the point. I cannot gaslight myself to the point that I think I need to trick myself into being a superhero for myself. And sometimes I need to be a superhero to myself, but I feel like sometimes when I'm being a superhero to myself, I'm putting my own self in danger. That's why I use the term I be gaslighting myself. Because if I keep treating myself like something that's constantly needing to get fixed all the time, that means that I look at myself as broken all the time. And that's not healthy, you know? That's not healthy for anybody. I'm speaking for me though. That's not healthy to only look at yourself for what it looked like for so long, because then you're never really able to live in the now because you're living in the then. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say nostalgia is dangerous. Like, yeah, it's okay to it's okay to lament and remember like what it looked like. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Praise God. I'm 3,400 days. I'm 3,400 days sober, but I cannot stay at one. I can't stay at when I try to get it to one for so long and I kept going back to zero. I can't keep, you know what I'm saying? Like flat out. You can't even focus on when it was at, like, for me, say if it was like day 2,394 or something like that. If I fixate on that day, it was so bad at 2,394, I can't even celebrate 3,400. Not even celebrate it. I can't even live, be a human in day 3,400. And that's real. That's really, really real. You gotta realize that not everybody's garden started the way it did, or started the way it looks now. And that's not to say to go around people like, I bet they were a piece of before they got to where. I'm not saying do that. Let's not do that to people, because that's judgy and that's being assumptuous. That's being presumptuous. But I mean, we're on chapter 2. Stay in chapter 2. It's okay to remember what you learned from chapter 1, but we're in chapter 2 now. And it's hard to even learn what you got to learn in chapter 2 because you're fixated on what you had to learn in chapter 1 because it got so bad. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, totally. It does. It makes a lot of sense, and that's why, like, for me, I when it comes to me building relationship with people, I never ever, like, if there's a difference between me and them, or maybe they believe something different than me, I accept that, because you just never know what people are going through. You know what I'm saying? And you never know what they've been through. So I try to, like, if I try to respect everyone's boundaries and what they tell me they're comfortable with and not comfortable with, because I just don't know what this person has been through, and who am I to try to push anything, or try to say anything that makes them feel uncomfortable. I just don't do that, and I think that's important, because I've been through some stuff, and as people get to know me, I open up more, and I tell them about my life and what I've been through and stuff. And if I'm not open enough to say, hey, this bothers me, then they're not going to know, right? So I have to be open and honest with them, and I hope people do the same with me. But yeah, I just really try to empathize with people, and making sure that I respect them, you know, respect them to the highest degree, because at the end of the day, everyone's been through something, everyone's got a story, everyone's on a journey. And I think it's important for us as people to respect each other, to love each other as we are, because it's hard, like it really is. And, for me as a person, like for me, man, like, I have some serious trauma that I'm still working on to this day. We all are, what I mean? We all been through some kind of trauma, some kind of, and I never, like, for instance, like, when I hear, women, right? And they're like, hey, I have a hard time trusting men because a man's done this to me, or multiple men's done this to me. I understand. I get it. I get you. I really do. But me as a man, it's also, I feel like, a part of my duty as well to show them that not all men are like that, so that hopefully they can see, hey, maybe I can give another man a chance, because all men aren't like that. And even with me, when I'm building relationship with people, I got to remember that just because some people have treated me wrong in the past doesn't mean everyone's going to treat me wrong, right? Even though I may feel very hesitant with trusting people, right? Which, me, like, even with my whole church situation, right? It's hard for me to trust the church because of what I've been through with the church. Thank you, Auntie Maya. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's hard for me to trust. But even like meeting you, Casper, even meeting Auntie Maya, even meeting people like TJ, people like Matt, people like just everyone in Divinity, like meeting everybody there has restored my trust in Christians. In Christians, because a lot of us do suck. I was gonna say it like it is. A lot of Christians suck, but not every Christian sucks. So I gotta keep that in mind whenever I'm meeting church people or like Christians or whatever. But I know a lot of people who are not Christians who have a very hard time trusting Christians or any kind of religious person. And I get it. I understand it, like, totally. And I don't blame you for not trusting Christians. But just know that not all Christians are like that. And I feel like it's also part of my duty as well as a Christian to represent Christ the best way and to show people that not all Christians are judgmental like that. Not all Christians are going to be like homophobic or going to be whatever. You know what I mean? Anything that's associated with the title of Christian that's been just looked down upon or whatever, is from people like me, people like Casper, people like Maya, all of us. It's up to us to show people that not all Christians are just going to bash you, judge you, put you down just because your lifestyle may be different than ours or you believe something different. I don't care what people believe. Like, I really don't. Like, anybody that knows me that's not a Christian that has interacted with me would know, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're a person, I'm a person, and we should love each other based on that. Not, oh, I can only love you if you go to church. I can only love you if you're a Christian, if you believe in Christ. No, because that's totally not Christ. That's not what Christ was about when he was here on earth. It's not what we as believers in Christ should be about. So that's the thing, man, is I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, just know not all people are going to do you wrong. And that's a process, bro. That's a long process. That's a very long process, bro, of trust building, because I got trust issues, just like you got trust issues. We got trust issues, bro. Like, but, meeting you, Casper, like, has helped with my trust issues. You know what I mean? Meeting people in Divinity, people in the Sister chat have helped me with my trust issues. So, yeah, man, it's I just try to meet people where they're at. I honestly do. I try to meet people where they're at and understand everyone's growth process is different. Some people grow super fast, and it's like it can be an overnight thing, bro. Just like, speaking from a Christian's perspective, again, like when it comes to addiction and things we were addicted to before Christ and that we were living in before Christ, some things Christ takes away from us just like that. Sometimes some things, it's a lifelong struggle. It's a lifelong battle of giving these things up and trusting God enough to say, here, God, take it. I don't want it anymore. Even that in of itself is a process to even give things to God that he calls us to give to him. But it's a process, bro. And I understand everyone's process is different. So I just try to meet people where they're at and understand that people need their own time to grow and be patient with people and be understanding, help them through their process and support them and love them. And whatever I have to do as a person, that's what I try to do.
And I think I think for me, I'm trying to, and like this is like something I was talking, it's funny because I was talking to Jess about this literally like till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like I was just like in my bag the other night. And we're talking about don't I was talking about abandonment. And for me, it's really I'll say it like this. I was talking about earlier that like it's hard for me to like settle down in a lot of places. Because I always think to myself, I gotta leave at some point. Even where I live now, I have yet to. I moved in November in my apartment. I have yet to officially unpack. Like I literally am looking at boxes right now. In my den, I'm looking in boxes right now. I can see into my spare bedroom right there. I've never unpacked from my old spot, and a lot of that is, I'll say it like this. Sometimes when we're talking about people giving me my flowers, it's hard for the things people are trying to give me to really take effect because I haven't planted them correctly after they were given to me. And a lot of that is because I don't want to go through the pain of having to uproot those things. I'll keep it in a vase. I'll keep it in a box. I've had people give me stuff like actual gifts, and to this day, they're still in boxes. I'm not like a hoarder. I don't have a lot of stuff, mind you. I just don't. I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm pretty minimal on a lot of things, but I'll like kind of like tuck things away. There's words of encouragement. You met my older brother on the podcast. There's stuff that I've known this man since I was 21, about 21. There's some stuff that I have that he's the reason I got an iCloud membership to get like more memory, because there's some stuff that he says to me as far as encouragement, edifying words, just like insightful things in which that he is just as far as like words, encouragement, edifying things that he has said to me that I haven't read yet. I'm just gonna keep it mean. I'm just keeping it a beanie. Like I've bookmarked them and I still got them tucked away. Because I'm always thinking to myself, when somebody comes into my life, do I have to give this back? You know? Do I have to give these words you gave to me back? Do I have to throw them in the trash? Do I gotta uproot this mug? These flowers you just gave me? Do I have to do I have to like do I gotta go in reverse at some point with this you gave me? You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna want to keep it? Are you gonna, if you when like, it's gonna be great to look at while you're here, but what if you leave? You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, I was at the gym earlier today and I was listening to this one song. For some odd reason, I'm weird. I like to listen to sad music when I work out sometimes. Not even kidding. I was listening to I'm so serious. I was listening to Torn Wells' song. The song is called Trenches. And there's this one part of the song, Trenches, and he talks about, my heart's under fire, facing defeat. I'm so close to surrender to my enemies, but love came from heaven, and came for me and everything like that. And I can go back to when I said, if you deny a blessing from man, you'll deny a blessing from God. so for my, for those that are disciples of Christ are like listening in on this, and then hopefully you guys are able to apply this as well. You gotta learn how to embrace it when it's good. You gotta embrace it when it's good and when it's fresh, because you don't want to be that one person that's mourning that you didn't enjoy the flowers while they were still fresh. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's from a person, a compliment, a laugh, like there's been time. I mean, dude, I'm a super cynical person, bro. I know I am. Like, I just know I'm a super cynical person. It's really hard for me to enjoy people. I'm just being real with y'all. It's really, really hard for me to enjoy people, because then I think to myself, do I really want them to have roots in me? You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real with you. Do I really want them to have roots in me? Do I want them to be able to establish roots in me? So there's some times that y'all be having me cracking up, and then afterwards, for some odd reason, my cynicism will allow me to go like, was I even allowed to enjoy that? You start feeling guilt. And this goes back to me gaslighting myself. I start feeling guilty for enjoying things I know it's okay for me to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for me to laugh about stuff. It's okay for me to smile at stuff. It's okay for me to accept the compliment. It's okay for me to get excited about stuff when things are actually going right. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It is okay to be happy. For those that like, and speaking for more for myself, but hopefully somebody else catches this. When you go through trauma, it is okay to accept it when it's not trauma inducing. It is completely okay. It's hard, but it's okay. Especially if all you know is trauma. I get it. Yeah, man. I remember when that garden looked like but it's okay to, enjoy it, to embrace. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for it to leave, embrace it. I wrote this down for notes. Embrace their commitments, accept that someone will want to love you without leaving you. You know what I'm saying? I gotten, this wasn't on like, I was talking to Jess about this. I think it was on Sunday or something, but I was telling her, and I even mentioned this a little bit on episode 100, the Q&A we did. Somebody asked me, are you really happy to have like this family you have? And I said, I'm happy, but I'm scared. Like, I'm terrified. Like, I am terrified. I am terrified. Not so much if we disagree or anything like that. That's fine. That's with growth. Ty, there's been times, not so much we butted heads, but there's been times I had to be like, hey, no. And there's been times you had to be like, I wasn't cool with that. And I'll be like, damn, my bad, bro. There's been times for that. But I am so terrified because this is the happiest. It sounds weird. I'm happier being closer with people I've met on the internet than I've ever been in my life. And that's not for me trying to get sympathy points. That's not me trying to get, have people fish for me for compliments. Because once again, I already told y'all, I feel really, really weird when people do it anyway. But I have as my I hate Noonie. She keeps texting me. I might fire her. But I'm terrified. I'm terrified because I'm so not used to it. There was this point where we were kind of like discussing like travel plans. We were talking about, hey, we should like go here. We should go here. Casper, you got your sobriety date in April. My sobriety date's on April 20th. We're talking about going all meeting up in the state. And they were so excited about it. And because of my anxiety, I don't think people realize when it comes to anxiety, it could be something bad that gives you anxiety, and it could be something good that gives you anxiety. There's no such thing as bad anxiety and that's it. Like, handling that is weird for me. And I got like really freaked out. And when I say I got really freaked out, and I talk about this all the time, like with my bipolar disorder, I don't really know how to feel about it. Found out about it 2 years ago. And sometimes I think to myself, and it kind of, and like I said, this is daily, and this isn't really anybody else. Because there's been very few people I actually like allowed to even speak into me when it comes to bipolar disorder, or hypomania for bipolar 2. And that is, sometimes I think like, can people see it? Like it's like a physical manifestation. Like it's like a zit on my face. I got a little pimple. But I think to myself, like, do people see it when it's happening in like real time? And then I feel small, and I just need to dip out. I when I tell people like I'm scared, like I literally like, and I didn't come back to Zoom either. I didn't. We were on a Zoom. I think it was like a Friday or something. And we were just talking about traveling and stuff. And a lot of people were thinking, this is me kind of explaining, but a lot of people thought that maybe they said something wrong. A lot of people thought that, oh, he's just annoyed talking about travel plans. He's one of those people that doesn't like to plan. And it's like, that's not that. It was really new for me and terrifying for me that people, once again, that I met over the internet, like when I say like we've established tie, bro, like literally 4:00 in the morning, my nigga, like we'll like just message each other and we'll just talk. Like, bro, you literally live across the country, like literally, like diagonals wise, like you literally, like I'm here, you're here. We literally, like, we live like diagonal right across country. You're probably one of the closest people I have in my life, despite the mileage, despite the distance. And this is so new to me. This though I go by Mr. Lead with Love, though I'm super intentional on giving it and making sure that people feel it. I did not grow up in that. And I know that's not anybody else's fault. I did not grow up in that. I did not grow up with people that just said, I love you, and you didn't have to do anything. I did not grow up with just unsolicited in some ways, because it's just like unprovoked, like compliments and stuff like that, unconditional, unperformance based love. I did not grow up with that. And like when I still get like shivers when people do give me flowers and stuff, because people give me flowers, and like there's sometimes like I'll think about those flowers, or I still have those flowers, and they are of people that left, and I'm like, that this shit smells like them. Like I'd be like, this reminds me of them. Why are they gone? Why are they gone? Is the person that's coming in, are they replacing them, or are they like, is it like a temp job? It's all these things that I'm so not accustomed to. I'm so not accustomed to people seeing me a certain way. I'm so not accustomed to people talking to me in a certain way, that it's overwhelming. And it's like, it frankly scares me, because especially when it's like it's happening so much, I think to myself, is everybody is everybody that's giving me these flowers out to get me? Or is everybody that's trying to give me these flowers here to heal me? And I want to take the time. I've been putting in the work. Um, I still put in the work because I love this feeling, but it scares. When I say it scares me, because it's everything I've ever wanted. And then I don't want it taken away from me, not one bit. I don't want somebody to take this from me. If God took, I mean, am I gonna punch God in the face? Probably not. But like, if I think about everybody I've met, that is like, they're not even like circle at this point. They're like corner at this point. And I think to myself, I'm like, please don't leave. Don't dip out. This like, and I also don't want to scare them away too. Because like I said, I remember when somebody messed my garden up. I remember when many, many people messed my garden up. I remember when people told me they'd never leave and then they left. And I don't want to come off too abrasive. So it's like when I tell people like this is a day-to-day thing, the best way I can tell people is like, and what I want people to know, and this isn't me, and if I'm being toxic, even in my pain, because I don't want to bleed on people that didn't cut me. I'm not with that. If you want to give me flowers, you need to know what that means to me. You need to know what that means. You need to know that when I'm giving love, that's what you're getting from me. I don't sugarcoat nothing but Kool-Aid, and my Kool-Aid is made with sugar, not Splenda. I don't do artificial. I don't do any of this crap. I don't like, and this, like I said, nobody has done this. Nobody's done this in the community group. Ty, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in the sister chat, nobody in my Patreon community has done this. I need them to understand, if you signing up for this and you here to give me some flowers, you got to know what that means. Please don't give me no artificial flowers. Please don't give me some pretty looking weeds. Please don't give me something that you think looks nice and it's actually to my detriment. Please don't, like, be gentle with me. Be gentle with me, because I will always, and not that I always have, but I will fight like hell to make sure I'm gentle with everybody I'm doing life with, because I like I said, I grew up, I know what it looked like before it's growing into what it is now, and I don't feel like going backwards. All I ask is, if you want to help me get it to this, just let me know the two things. Make sure you really want to be here, and when you don't want to be here anymore, just don't damage it on your way out. Don't hurt my tribe on the way out. And if my tribe hurts you to the point you want to leave, I'll check my tribe. But I worked really hard to get what I got now. I worked so hard to get what I got right now. And that's real. Like, I get, when I say, like, I get not even like possessive, I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting hearts. I don't like wasting words, because I told people at the beginning of this, I go my Mr. Lead with Love for a reason, because that's my oath, baby. That's it. That's all. That's it, B. That I don't got time. I don't want to waste no time. I don't want to waste no time with you. I'm not going to waste time on you. And Ty, and this is me not throwing receipts. Ty, do you think for 1 second when I stay up with you or anybody on Zoom, or better yet, just for yourself, Ty, I'm not gonna stay up with you on 4 o'clock in the morning on a Zoom call because I'm getting paid to do it. It's good for my skin. You know what I'm saying? Nah, not one bit.
No, I mean, that time is the most valuable thing you can give to anybody. And it's like you said before with love language, like everyone has their own love language. I remember did a love language test, like one of those tests before. And my love language is I love quality time. I love it when people spend time with me. I didn't care less about material things or whatever. Like when someone gives me, whatever material, that's cool. Like I appreciate it. I do. But when you say, hey, let's just go out for lunch, let's go get some, coffee and tea, let's just sit down and talk and spend time with one another. To me, that's the best thing anyone could give me. And I appreciate anybody that does because, for so long I've felt worthless as a person. And I'm amazed to this day that I have people in my life that actually want to be in my life. Like I'm amazed by that because for so long I've been a loner. For so long I've always been the one to call people, but never anyone call me. And I'm not telling anyone they owe me anything or you have to feel obligated. Like that's on you. But when you kind of just put out so much effort, but you feel like you're not getting anything back, it hurts. So like for so long, I've been the person that has took initiative to call someone or check up on people, but no one's checking up on me, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. And to me, it's like when people spend genuine time with me and we laugh, we talk, we just shed tears, talk about deep stuff, whatever it may be. That means more to me than anyone could ever than I could ever explain, and it's I've had so many people in my life who have given me that, but then just abandoned me that it's hard at times to know, like, is this person being genuine? But, I trust that what people show me, I trust in it, because at the end of the day, I can only take people's word, until I see different or if I see different. But other than that, I'm not assuming that anyone like, oh, they're just doing this for whatever. I don't assume that. I take everyone for what they give me and their word. And I'm like, hey, if there's anything deceitful going on or whatever, it's gonna be exposed. It's gonna show. But like for me, it's hard at times to trust people because I built up such a wall. I built up such a wall, and it's hard, and it's just amazing to me that the best people I've ever met in my life, like you said, Casper, don't even live where I live. Like don't even are like in another state across the country from me. It's and that kind of hurts as well because it's like it'd be nice, what I mean, just to hit up my boy Casper and be like, hey bro, let's go out for lunch. Let's talk. Let's sit. It'd be nice to spend time with my bro Casper in person, but of course that's not, we can't just do that. But I have a good feeling that the Lord is gonna bring us together in person eventually. It's just gonna be the right place, right time. But it's hard, man. It's super hard, and I've lost friends, what I mean, and like I told you before, Casper, like back in 2019, I went through one of the darkest periods of my life where I had lost a good friend, a grandpa, and a cousin all in the span of like a few months, and I lost my relationship, and losing all that brought me to a dark place, and I kind of felt like at that point, like, man, I don't want to let anybody in because I don't want to go through this anymore. I don't want to go through the pain of losing someone close to me. But you know what? I had to realize that just because this has happened doesn't mean it's going to happen again, or it doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to lose people. So it's a healing process, man. It's a healing process, and I have no right to tell anybody how they should heal. You know, it's wrong for me to say, oh, you should already be past this or you should get over this. It's not my business to tell anyone that. So it's like I tell people all the time, like, don't tell me how to heal. You know, don't tell me I need to get over it because that's cold. You know what I mean? That's a cold thing to tell somebody. And it's like everyone has a process. So I'm patient with people. And I'm just like, man, you know, whatever time you need may not be the same as me. You may heal faster than me. You may heal slower than me. But at the end of the day, I want to help you in your healing process any way that God instructs me to do. So yeah, man, it's hard, bro. It's hard. I relate a lot to what you said, man. I do.
Man, so we have a visitor. It's my big sister out of Wisconsin, host and curator of the Not Your Safe Zone podcast. I don't know if I'm safe on my own podcast because she's shown up, but she's part of the Patreon. She clearly has some thoughts. She's got that face, you know what I'm saying? What you got for me, Queen? What you got for me? What you got for me?
Hey, y'all. I just wanted to come on and show my love to both of my little brothers, even though I'm looking a hot mess right now. I just wanted to say, like, as far as you, Casper, I heard what you were saying, and you know that I ended up losing one of those close relationships, for me, just recently. And it it hurt and it sucked, and my initial trauma response, because that's what we do, right? It's a trauma response of, okay, I keep getting hurt, so I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. um with that, I had to constantly remind myself, and I had this little brother that kept on calling me and texting me and checking up on me and making sure I was okay. I
You out here
mean,
talking now. Okay. All
I
right.
mean, he wouldn't let me get into that dark place. You wouldn't let me, um, you wouldn't let me, um, start blaming myself and, essentially do that trauma, regurgitate that trauma response again. Um, and for me, I just want to make it public the way I see you. Um, now I told you this. My grandma passed away, um, right before I met you, literally just days, before I met you, and she was a devout Christian, but she didn't sugarcoat shit either. And then all of a sudden, I see this kid on the internet being a devout Christian and not sugarcoating anything. And in our conversations, and sometimes on your podcasts, I hear you, and it's like I hear my grandmother. Um, and that is 100% love and 100% honesty. And with me, I match energies. So if that's what I feel like you're giving, that's what I'm going to give back. And I definitely, I mean, I already signed up. That one time when we were talking until like 7 a.m. and I fell asleep and my overbite was showing. Uh, I had signed up. You stuck with me, whether you like it or not. Um, and Tyler, it hasn't been long that I've known you either, but just from what I've seen from the first time I spoke to you on that wild Instagram live to
We don't
today,
gotta talk. We don't gotta talk
I
about
ain't
that.
talking about what was said in it. I ain't no. It's on the internet somewhere, but they gonna have to dig for that. I'm not gonna say it. From then to the man who sits on this screen today, I have seen you grown. I have seen you love. I have seen strength. Um, Strength in admitting when you felt weak, and strength in refusing to give up. Um, And to me, I see you as a little brother. Like, come on, someone can get these hands. Someone can get these hands. All the good and orange. But really, oh,
Juan is stupid.
hi Juan. I love you too, little brother. But y'all in such a short time have become a family to me. And I wish y'all could see the way that I see you. I don't see y'all as people who are damaged or broken or can't be loved or are hard to love. I see nothing but love when I look at y'all. And that's just my little 2 cents.
All righty. Then we got Black Girl Warrior from it's not really a state to brag about, the state of Florida.
Just
What's going on?
Don't say it. Stop.
What's going on, Queen? What is your thoughts? I already told y'all got a 24-hour free period and everything like that.
Right.
So, you know.
Well, honestly, it's pretty much the same as what Jess had to say, but I remember meeting both of you and being in a dark place myself. And it's amazing how meeting people from other places around the world can change your life. And I lost a lot of my faith. I was down. Y'all saw me. Y'all know. Tyler and you, Casper, and Jess, I love y'all.
Hold on. This ain't about me. This ain't about me.
I still said I love. Jess, I said I love you. Just take it. All right.
I love you too, but damn, this ain't about me.
Hey, if I have to do it, y'all got to do it, okay?
Exactly.
How do you think I feel? My goodness.
Hold on, that was
Exactly.
that was not in the fine print of the contract, bro.
Yes,
I don't care.
It's along with if I gotta see it, you gotta see it. Okay. Now, as I was saying, I agree with Jess. I feel like I really wish that you both, especially Casper, I wish you would see yourself the way that we see you. You are a beautiful person. Both of you are beautiful people. And I love you both, okay? Tyler, I know you for like 2 seconds because this is how long you stay on the chat. But
it's because he be getting them chili Fritos from Walgreens at like 1 o'clock in the morning our time, but that's besides the point.
But Tyler be going to the gym and getting buff too. He can't be
Exactly.
bothered with us. He be getting buff.
Tyler be going in. So I get it. I'm digging the chain. I'm digging the get rich or die trying vest. I feel you.
Oh gosh.
But yes, take y'all flowers, young men, while y'all still can. Black men. Okay? I love y'all. And I'm going to keep saying it. I love y'all. Damn it.
She's so aggressive about it. She's like, I love y'all, damn it.
Don't even act like your Tuesday nights and your Friday nights don't sound exactly like that, but that's exactly, my point exactly. So
Hey, real quick. Can I honor my sisters since they had to go and honor us? Jess, I remember when I first met you. You were very, and I say this with all love, you're a very outspoken person, but that's good because that's what makes you you. You know, you tell it like it is.
Tyler, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a little church mouse. I don't know what you're talking about, babe.
lying like hell.
Okay.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. My goodness.
Okay. But no. That's one of the things I love about you, Jess, is you tell it like it is, and you don't hold back for no one, and that's good because we need people like that, you know, to tell it like it is. So that's one of the things I really love about Jess, and not only that, but she just her heart for speaking out for our people and really like putting people in their place and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I love that. You know, we need more powerful, strong Black women, you know what I mean, out there just spreading truth. So Jess, you've been a blessing. You know, you've been a huge blessing. You're a beautiful Black woman. You're a beautiful queen. So love you, Jess. And then Black Girl Warrior, Alana, you've been a blessing since the day I met you. And I always love questions that you bring to us. I love your takes on certain things. And I've learned a lot from you. I've learned a lot from Jess. You know, I've learned a lot from all the women that have been involved in my life, you know. And that's one thing I really love, women who are like not ashamed of who they are, who just, you know, are proud to be who they are. And you guys are definitely two women that are proud to be who you are. So I love that about both of you guys. And you guys have become my sisters, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, just like Jess says, if someone mess with y'all, I'm doing full-time ministry in prison. I was gonna say that. So, you know what I mean? I got you guys back. I got your back. And I'm just glad I met you guys because, man, like it's just so amazing how God brought all this together in a time where I really lost a lot of faith and trust in people. But you guys have really restored my trust in people and show me that there's some genuine good people out there, you know. So I appreciate both of you. I love chatting with you guys, and you guys are hilarious. You know what I mean? Y'all say some stuff that makes me laugh, but you know, you guys always bring truth, and I really appreciate, you know, your guys' mind and your heart and everything like that. So love both of you guys and beautiful Black queens. You know what I'm saying? Like definitely need you guys in my life for sure. So thank you guys. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Tyler. I love you too. I just wanted to say one thing real quick. I know that everybody here has like struggled with like some dark shit or some difficult shit lately. But I see it like this. A rose can grow from the concrete. You know what I'm saying? If there is a crack in the concrete, a rose can grow. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna close us out just because for two reasons. One, y'all making my makeup sweat a little too much, and by my makeup I mean my lotion on my face, because y'all know I like to put lotion on my eyelids because, you know, we don't age in dog years. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta make sure that I'm not out here looking like light skinned Raisin Bran. We can't have that. So but yeah, man, this was heavy. Only thing I can say is, you know, if anybody's watching this, best way I can convey what I've been trying to say, at least since I've been, as Maya is attested to, this like shift where I've just been like, you know, kind of just, this is like my diary in a sense. Like Ty asked me during the Q&A thing on Sunday, am I writing a book? This is my book. And you know, this is the best way I can not only so much humanize like myself, but just humanize the human experience, the Black human experience, the Black man human experience, all of that. And just speaking out of my place of brokenness. But, you know, as I always like to put it, when I'm talking about mental health and everything like that, and that is, let me get it up real quick. And that is being okay in my brokenness. And that is important to me, because if you can find a place where you can be okay in your brokenness, then that means you can be whole, because you already got it all together. All the pieces are either within you. And even if the cracks are kind of falling apart within you, you got to surround yourself with people that are willing to embrace you, so them cracks can come together. You know what I'm saying? During this time when we don't really know what's going on with this pandemic, a lot of things that we don't really know, the Black experience is such a fragile experience. You could be here one day and gone the next. Health, mental health, all those things, all the turbulence in which we go through just as people in general, but then us as a people, this is important. You know, having a tribe is important. It takes a village. This doesn't exist anymore. So when I say this doesn't exist anymore, it seems like this community aspect, especially within our community, this ain't real. Like this is like a dying off thing in a sense. So what I want to convey for people is, at least what I've been trying to do for the last couple of weeks, is take advantage. You know what I'm saying? Be very intentional with everything you do as far as this love aspect. It's not a, it's as I always say, you know, love, you know, Christian is not a noun to me, it's a verb. Love is not just a moniker for me. It is a verb. It is an intentional thing. It is an oath to me. And I'm willing to put this work in across the world. You can only imagine what I'm willing to do with people that are around me, but it takes effort, not excuses, you know. This took a lot of work. I mean, there's been so many times that we've just texted or me and Jess are like on Zoom till like 5 o'clock in the morning, or I'm calling her at like 3 in the morning and I'm crying my eyes out and stuff like that. This takes work. You know what I'm saying? This is when I gave the scenario of putting your, you know, taking your flowers and planting them, you got to do some work on the soil, which is your heart. You got to do that work. Because if you want growth to happen, you got to make sure that your garden's in place. You got to make sure that what you got to put them flowers in is healthy enough so you can take those flowers and really embrace them, growth from it, you know, take the nutrients, have these nutrients nurture you. That way there can be a contradiction of these things in ways that you used to live your life. And that's not even on a spiritual level. That's just on a chemical level, really. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I'm going to be back tomorrow, but I'm not going to be this nice. Tomorrow we are doing toxic masculinity and misogyny in the church. That's going to be a freaking scorcher. I'm bringing back, I call her old pup because she's my sister. I'm bringing back Tori Bay, one of my sisters I adopted off of the internet. We going in tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I want everybody to walk away with this episode, and not this to be a condemnation. Hopefully it was convicting in some way, shape, or form. You know, if you saw any pattern and behavior in which you want to kind of contradict from, take it from me, bro. Chief of the Center's dog. I'm here to teach out of my pain and just keep it real with y'all. Keep it 100 with y'all. I don't sugarcoat nothing but Kool-Aid, and my Kool-Aid is made of sugar, not Splenda. So with that being said, always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins still don't go in potato salad. Mayonnaise still don't go in peas. Condensed milk and freaking avocados is demonic. I'm going to say it. I said it out loud. I said it. I know you're watching. I won't even use your name, but you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins don't go in potato salad, and Jesus wasn't white. Have a good night.